Hello everyone, welcome back to Pabbly. In this video we're going to learn how to add Google Forms responses to MS Excel. So I am an owner of an event planning company and I have recently organized an event. So here I have created a form with the help of Google Forms to collect all the data of my participants. So here my objective is that whenever a new form submission is going to be done by any of my participants with the help of Google Forms, automatically the data of that form submission should be transferred into my Microsoft Excel worksheet. For that, what we are going to do is we are going to simply create an automation between Google Forms and Microsoft Excel with the help of Pabbly Connect. Pabbly Connect runs on two concepts, that is trigger and action. In this process, my trigger application is going to be Google Forms and my action application is going to be Microsoft Excel. So if you want to learn how to do this automation, then let me take you all to my screen. In this video, we're going to learn how to add Google Form responses to Microsoft Excel. So I am an owner of an event managing company and I'm recently organizing an event. So my objective is that whenever any of my new participants are going to fill the form that I've created with the help of Google Forms and is going to submit the form, automatically all the details of that form should be transferred into my Microsoft Excel worksheet. For that, what we are going to do is we are going to create an automation between Google Forms and Microsoft Excel with the help of Pabbly Connect. So on the screen you can see the website of Pabbly Connect, that is pabbly.com/connect. After browsing this website, we need to sign in to our Pabbly Connect account. But if you are a new user, you can sign up for free and get 100 free tasks every month. So as I'm an existing user, I'm going to sign in to my Pabbly Connect account. After signing in, you can see the All Pabbly Apps window in front of you, in which you can see the 5 applications of Pabbly, from which we are going to select Pabbly Connect by clicking on Access Now. Then Pabbly Connect's dashboard is going to appear in front of you. In order to start an automation process in Pabbly Connect, we need to create a workflow. For that, you have to click on this button right over here. Then a new dialog box is going to appear in front of you, which is asking for a workflow name. So I'm going to give a name to my workflow as Add Google Forms Submission in Microsoft Excel. So this is the name that I want to give to my workflow. Next, it is asking for us to select a folder. On the left side of my screen, you can see I've created multiple folders in my Pabbly Connect account, from which I'm going to select a specific folder in which I want to save this workflow in. How are we going to select that? For that, to click on this arrow right over here. So these are the folders that I've created, from which I'm going to select Google Forms Automations as the folder I want to save this workflow in. After giving a name to our workflow and selecting the folder, we're going to click on Create in order to create a workflow. A workflow is created in the name of Add Google Forms Submission in Microsoft Excel, and there are two windows in front of you. One says Trigger, another says Action. Trigger and Action are the two most important steps of our automation process because our process depends on these two concepts. Over here, Trigger says when this happens and Action says do this. That means our action is a response towards our trigger. In an automation process, there can be only one trigger step but multiple action steps. Firstly, what we're going to do is we're going to set up our trigger step. For that, to click on this arrow right over here, and for the trigger application, we are going to select it as Google Forms. So I'm going to select my trigger application as Google Forms, and for the trigger event, we are going to select it as New Response Received. We have selected our trigger application as Google Forms and a trigger event as New Response Received because we want that whenever a new form submission is going to be done with the help of the form that we have created with the help of Google Forms, automatically Pabbly Connect should capture the response of that form submission. How are we going to connect the form that we have created with the help of Google Forms and Pabbly Connect? For that, Pabbly Connect has provided us with a webhook URL. With the help of this unique webhook URL, we're going to connect Google Forms with Pabbly Connect. Firstly, I'm going to copy this URL from here. After copying the URL, you can see over here the steps are given here below in order to connect Google Forms with Pabbly Connect. By following the steps, you can connect this webhook. So how are we going to connect our form with Pabbly Connect? For that, you have to open the form that we have created. This is the form that I've created with the help of Google Forms, and we're going to connect this form with Pabbly Connect. For that, we have to click on Responses right over here. After clicking on Responses over here, it says Link to Sheets. We're going to click on it. Then a new dialog box is going to appear in front of you, on which you have to select Create a New Spreadsheet. If you want, you can select Existing Spreadsheet. Then I'm going to click on Create right over here. As you have created a spreadsheet, as you can see, it's a spreadsheet that I've created in the name of Event Registration Responses. This is the form in the name of Event Registration. So this is the spreadsheet that is directly linked towards the form that we have created. And whenever a new form submission is going to be done with the help of this form right over here, automatically all the responses of the form will be captured into this spreadsheet. And now what we're going to do is we're going to create a connection between Pabbly Connect and this spreadsheet that is created right over here. For that, you click on Extensions. After click on Extensions, extensions, you can see over here it says add-ons. We're going to select this and then we have to click on get add-ons. After that, a new window is going to appear in front of you, on which on the search bar we have to search for Pabbly Connect Webhooks. We're going to select Pabbly Connect Webhooks. Then we're going to open Pabbly Connect Webhooks. Over here, as you can see that I've already installed Pabbly Connect Webhooks, so I'm going to move forward. But if you have not installed it, please do install it so you can connect Pabbly Connect with this spreadsheet. So I'm going to go back. We're going to click on extensions again. Over here it says Pabbly Connect Webhooks. We're going to click on it and then we have to click on initial setup. Then a new dialog box is going to appear in front of you, which is asking for a webhook URL in a trigger column. For the webhook URL, we're going to paste the webhook URL that Pabbly Connect has provided us. After that, it is asking for the trigger column. Over here, it says the trigger column will be a final data column on which of the data is added. So in the spreadsheet that we have created, as you can see right now, the final data column is going to be column F, as you can see right over here, because in this column, the final data is going to be added. So over here, I'm going to write it as column F. After pasting the webhook URL and selecting the trigger column, we're going to click on submit right over here. As soon as you're going to click on submit, over here it says setup configured successfully. That means the setup is done successfully. So now the steps which I'm going to tell you all are very important steps. So please do not forget to follow the steps which I'm going to tell you. Click on extensions again. Over here click on Pabbly Connect Webhooks again. From the options given over here, we have to select on send on event. As you can see over here it says working. After the loading is completed, you have to click on extensions again and then on Pabbly Connect Webhooks. You can see a tick mark is in front of send on event. It is very important to click on send on event because whenever the new data is going to be entered into the spreadsheet, automatically this spreadsheet is going to send the data to Pabbly Connect. That is why it is very important to click on send on event. So if I'm going to take you back to Pabbly Connect, over here it says waiting for the webhook response. So now what we're going to do is we're going to do a test submission of the form that we have created with the help of Google Forms, and we're going to check whether Pabbly Connect is going to capture the response of the test submission or not. For that, I'm going to open the form that we have created with the help of Google Forms. As you can see, this is the form that we have created. And to do a test submission, what we have to do is we have to click on send right over here. After click on send over here, we have to select the second option and the link is provided. We're going to copy this link from here and then we're going to paste the link right over here and then we're going to enter. So this is the form that I've created with the help of Google Forms, and by filling this form right over here, we're going to do a test submission. It is asking for the first name, last name, email, phone number, and what date will you attend the event. So we're going to fill in all the details. Firstly, for the first name right over here, I'm going to write it as dummy. For the last name, I'm going to write it as user1. For the email over here, I'm going to write it as dummyuser1 @pabblytuts.com. After that, for the phone number right over here, I'm going to enter in a dummy mobile number. Next, it is asking for what days do you want to attend the event. I'm going to select it as day 3 and then I'm going to click on submit to do a test submission. Over here it says we have received your registration. This means that we have done the test submission successfully. Now we're going to open the workflow that we have created in our Pabbly Connect account and we're going to check whether Pabbly Connect has captured the response of the test submission that we have done right now or not. For that, I'm going to open my Pabbly Connect account. I'm going to scroll down. And yes, as you can see right over here, the response is captured in our Pabbly Connect account successfully. If you're going to scroll down and tally the response for the first name as dummy, last name as user1, email as dummyuser1 @pabblytuts.com, for the phone number, dummy mobile number, and all the other details. So this means that we successfully connected Google Forms with Pabbly Connect and our trigger setup is done. After setting up a trigger step, we need to set up our action step, as our objective is that whenever a new form submission is going to be done by any of my new participants with the help of Google Forms, automatically the data of that form submission should be transferred into my Microsoft Excel worksheet. So what we're going to do is we're going to add another action step, and for the action, what we're going to do is we are going to select it as Microsoft Excel. So I'm going to select my action application as Microsoft Excel, and for the action event, we're going to select it as add row to worksheet. After selecting the action application and the event, we're going to click on connect. Then a new window is going to appear in front of you on which you have to click on add new connection. But if you have an existing connection, you can choose this option. After that, I'm going to click on connect with Microsoft Excel. Then a new dialog box is going to appear in front of you which is asking for a permission. I'm going to click on accept as this is a safe process and my data is perfectly safe with Pabbly Connect. As you can see that we successfully authorized Microsoft Excel with Pabbly Connect. After connecting Microsoft Excel with Pabbly Connect, firstly it is asking for us to select a workbook. So I have created a workbook in the name of event registration participants details. So this is the workbook that I've created with the help of Microsoft Excel. So for the workbook right over here, I'm going to select it as event registration participant details. So as you can see right over here, the workbook is selected as event registration participant details. After that, it is asking for the drive ID. As soon as you're going to select the workbook, the drive ID is going to be automatically selected. Next, it is asking for the worksheet. In my workbook I've created a single sheet in the name of sheet 1. So for the worksheet, I'm going to select it as sheet 1. Next, it is asking for the first name, last name, email, phone number, and what days will you attend the event. So these are the fields that I've created in my workbook. As you can see right over here, first name, last name, email, phone number, and what days will you attend the event. And I want to capture the data of the form submission under these fields. So what we are going to do is, for the data for all these fields, we are going to map the data. Mapping means inserting data from the previous step. So we're going to insert the data from the previous step of this automation workflow. And how we're going to do that? For that, we click right over here. As soon as you're going to click over here, you can see it says Google Forms new response received. So this was the previous step of this automation workflow. I'm going to click on this arrow, and this was the same response that was captured in our previous step. It is asking for the first name data right away, so I'm going to map the data for the first name. As I map the data right over here, the data has now become dynamic. That means whenever a new response is going to be captured in our previous step, automatically the data right over here in place of this map data is going to be updated. Next, it is asking for the last name. We're going to map the data again. Click right over here, click on this arrow right over here. We're going to map the data for the last name. Next, it is asking for the email. We're going to map the data again. Click right over here, click on this arrow right over here. We're going to map the data for the email. Next, it is asking for the phone number. We're going to map the data for the phone number as well. And lastly, it is asking for what days will you attend the event. We're going to map the data for this field as well. So I'm going to map the data right over here. So as I've completed mapping all the data has now become dynamic. That means whenever a new response is going to be captured in our previous step, automatically the data right over here in place of these fields is going to be updated. After that, I'm going to click on save and send test request. As soon as I'm going to click on save and send test request, over here you can see a response is received, and this response is a positive response right over here. Now I'm going to open my worksheet that I've created in my Microsoft Excel account, and I'm going to check whether data is transferred into a Microsoft Excel worksheet or not. I'm going to open my worksheet that I've created. I'm going to refresh the page. As soon as I'm going to click on refresh, you can see over here the data is successfully transferred. For the first name as dummy, last name as user1, email as dummyuser1@pabblytudes.com, for the phone number, dummy mobile number, and for what days will you attend the event as day 3. So this means that we successfully created a connection between Google Forms and Microsoft Excel with the help of Pabbly Connect. But now for all of you guys, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do another submission with the form that I've created with the help of Google Form, and I'm going to check whether the submission of that form, the data of that submission is transferred into the worksheet that we have created in our Microsoft Excel account or not. For that, I'm going to open the form that I've created. As you can see, this is the form that I've created, and now I'm going to do a test submission. For that, I'm going to click on send right over here. Then I'm going to click over here, and I'm going to copy this link from here. And I'm going to open this link in a new tab right over here. As you can see, this is the form that I've created. It is asking for the first name, last name, email, phone number, and what days will you attend the event. So I'm going to fill in all the details. As you can see that I've filled in all the details for the first name as test, last name as account, email as testaccount@pabblytudes.com, for the phone number, dummy mobile number, and what days will you attend the event. For that, I've selected as all the days. After that, I'm going to click on submit to do a submission. As you can see that over here it says we have received your registration. So this means that we've successfully done a test submission. Now I'm going to open Microsoft Excel worksheet that I've created, and I'm going to check whether the data is successfully transferred into that worksheet or not. For that, I'm going to open my Microsoft Excel worksheet. I'm going to refresh the page. As I have refreshed the page, you can see right over here the data is successfully transferred from our form submission into my worksheet that I've created in my Microsoft Excel account. For the name as test, last name as account, email as testaccount@pabblytudes.com, for the phone number, dummy mobile number, and for what days will you attend the event as all the days. So this means that we successfully created an automation between Google Forms and Microsoft Excel with the help of Pabbly Connect. So now to sum up till now what we have done, I'm an owner of an event organizing company, and I've recently organized an event, and to collect the data of my participants, I have created a form with the help of Google Forms. So here my objective is that whenever a new form submission is going to be done with the help of Google Forms, automatically the data of that form submission should be transferred into my Microsoft Excel worksheet. For that, I've created an automation between Google Forms and Microsoft Excel with the help of Pabbly Connect, and this is how we create an automation between these two applications. So if you like this video, please do subscribe to our channel, hit on the like button, comment down below if you have any questions or doubts, and please share this video. Not just with these applications, you can create automation with the help of Pabbly Connect between multiple applications. If you have any doubts, you can send us email on support@pabbly.com. If you have any queries, you can ask your queries on forum.pabbly.com. If you have any queries regarding the pricing of Pabbly Connect, then you can check out this link. If you like this video, please subscribe to our channel, hit on the like button, comment down below if you have any questions and doubts, and please share this video, and thank you for watching.